Once upon a time, there lived a great king. His palace was a sprawling marvel, filled with countless servants and overflowing with treasure. He could buy anything his heart desired. Yet, despite all this wealth, the king was not happy. A profound emptiness gnawed at his heart, leaving him restless and unfulfilled. Every day, he would order new clothes, hoping the fine silks and threads would stitch up the void within him. Every month, a new room would be added to his ever-expanding palace, a monument to his growing discontent. He amassed jewels, gold, and rare artifacts from the farthest corners of the world, but none of it brought him the peace he so desperately craved. One evening, the king stood on his grand balcony, gazing out over the city below. He saw his people working, talking, and laughing. They lived simple lives, yet there was a vibrancy to them he couldn't find in his own. His eyes then fell upon a simple man walking down the street. The man wore plain clothes and carried a small basket of fruits. He was singing softly, a wide, genuine smile gracing his face. As children ran up to greet him, he handed them fruits, his gestures full of warmth and love. The king watched, bewildered. How can this simple man be so happy? He wondered. When I, a king with everything, am not. Days turned into weeks, and the king's unhappiness lingered like a persistent shadow. He threw extravagant parties, hosted grand feasts, and filled his halls with the most beautiful music. But even in a crowd, he felt utterly alone. One day, unable to bear it any longer, he summoned his guard. "Tell me," the king commanded, "who is that simple man who always wears a smile?" The guard bowed and replied, "Your Majesty, he is just a poor fruit seller. He lives in a small hut outside the city walls. And yet, people say he is the happiest man in the entire kingdom." The king was stunned. How can a poor fruit seller possibly be happier than me? The thought consumed him. The very next morning, he made a decision. He dressed in simple, common clothes and slipped out of the palace, unnoticed. He navigated the narrow, winding streets of his city until he finally arrived at the man's humble hut. There he was, the simple man, sitting outside, skillfully cutting fruits and humming a soft, peaceful tune. An aura of calm and joy surrounded him. The king approached and sat beside him. "My friend," he began, "I am your king, but I am terribly unhappy. You have so little, and yet you smile as if you have everything. Please, tell me your secret." The simple man looked up, his eyes kind and understanding. He smiled warmly and said, "Peace does not come from money or gold. When we want more than we need, our heart becomes tired and heavy." He paused, then continued, "I wake up every day and thank God for what I have. I do my work with honesty and share what I can. That is enough for me." The king was intrigued. "But don't you wish for a bigger house, or finer clothes, or more possessions?" The man let out a gentle laugh. "I have a roof to sleep under," he replied. "I have food to eat. I have people who love me, and I have peace in my heart. Your Majesty, what more could a man truly need?" He then picked up a ripe fruit, holding it up for the king to see. "Look at this fruit. It grows, it falls, and it grows again. It does not worry about tomorrow. It simply lives in the present in that moment." The king felt a profound shift within him. A gentle calmness, a feeling he hadn't known in years, began to spread through his heart. He stood up, his eyes clear for the first time. "Today," he said, his voice filled with newfound wisdom, "I've learned that true peace lives only in a thankful heart." The king returned to his palace a changed man. He stopped his endless pursuit of things he didn't need. Instead, he started spending time with his people, listening to their stories and helping the poor in secret. He became kinder, gentler, and more present. It wasn't long before the entire kingdom noticed the transformation. "Our king has finally found peace," they would whisper amongst themselves. And it was all thanks to a simple fruit seller who taught a powerful king the real meaning of happiness.